lawfully married.
Yeah, I'm running as a Democrat.
He had the job for 4 years, and he ran away from the job. He should actually be known as the zero-wage governor.
Then Rick Scott can spend $8 billion.
Nice tan. Whose side was Rick Scott on?
It was my doorway.
Politics.
Good morning, I'm Keith Cate, and this is Your Vote Battleground Florida. In 44 days, a little more than 6 weeks from today, the fight for governor will be settled. It remains a tight race, too, but this week the incumbent governor, Rick Scott, stretched his lead over the former governor, Charlie Crist, in our exclusive News Channel 8 poll. Among 571 likely voters who took part in our survey, 44% said that they would vote for Rick Scott if the election were held today. 39% would vote for Charlie Crist. That is a 5-point advantage for Rick Scott. And it is the first time that Charlie Crist has fallen below 40% since we started doing this poll back in April. Libertarian candidate Adrian Wiley has picked up 7% in this week's poll, and 9% are still undecided. We also asked about Amendment 2 in our most recent poll, and 56% of voters told us that they would favor the medical marijuana initiative, while 31% oppose it. 13% are still not sure about it. Now, joining us this morning to talk about these poll results and the fight for governor is our News Channel 8 political analyst, Dr. Susan McManus from the University of South Florida, William March, our political reporter with the Tampa Tribune, and News Channel 8 political reporter Lauren Make, also here today. So thank you very much for being here this morning. I'm curious, I want to start with you, Dr. McManus, if Charlie Crist should be concerned about this week's poll results.
Yes, but you can't dwell on a single poll. They're going to go up and down between now and Election Day as new ads come out and as different issues come up. So, of course, he's going to be concerned about it, but all of them are watching it like hawks, even though they all say they're not watching the polls. They are.
Yeah, and this is still within, I guess, the margin of error, but it's the biggest jump we've seen, the biggest spread for Rick Scott. What do you see, Wendy, that you think Rick Scott is doing right that would maybe increase his percentage this week?
He's been devoting full time to the campaign trail, a very heavy schedule of appearances. He's he's moved a lot of his issued positions toward the center on education, on the environment, and he's unloaded millions and millions of dollars worth of ads on Charlie Crist. You put all that together, I think that's what is responsible for the change in the polls that you're seeing.
And it's interesting to note that Adrian Wiley, who we see polling 7% in our poll this week, almost doubling what he's done in any prior poll that we've done here at News Channel 8, will not be participating in the first debate.
Yes, this will be the debate sponsored by the Florida Press Association, Leadership Florida, and others at Broward College on October 15th. It'll be the first debate other than the Telemundo debate, a Spanish language channel, and therefore possibly the most important one. Wiley is outraged, says that they have raised the criteria in order to keep him out. Dean Ridings with the Florida Press Association says, no, these are the same criteria as in 2010. They did have lower criteria under which Wiley would have been admitted in a 2006 governor's race debate.
Mm-hmm. So, Lauren, what do you think the candidates are going to be doing here over the next several weeks? And we have about 6-7 weeks left of this campaign. What kind of tricks are in the bag going forward, do you see?
Money. I think the money is in the bag, more ads. Certainly, we have seen, I feel like I see a new one every single day. And for Rick Scott, at least, that seems to be working.
Yeah. Do you think there might be an October surprise down the road, Dr. McManus?
Well, one thing I would like to say is that the ad situation is way oversaturated. People are tuning them out now. The first ads that come up regarding medical marijuana are probably going to get attention because it's something different. The October surprise, probably, if there is one, may very well stem from the debates, a candidate making a misstep or a miscomment. But it's really hard to think there's going to be a monumental surprise because so many people have already tuned this race out. They already have their minds made up who they're going to vote for. And so I don't think it'll be a monumental October surprise.
Yeah, and medical marijuana, 56% in our poll. Does that surprise you that it's where it is?
No, the first ads, the organized opposition is already out against this. Even the proponents acknowledged that the big margins they were showing earlier would come down when the debate started.
And I wonder whether this is coming on the heels of the John Morgan incident at the bar, and I wonder how that impacted this and whether we'll see a change in the next couple of weeks.
All right, we shall see. Now, there are a couple of other changes to the state's constitution depending on what voters decide in November. A voter education think tank wants to make sure you know what is on the ballot, so we'll talk a little bit more